Yeah, it's been about a year since I've got my Epiphone Les Paul Standard 60s, and that review uh, did way better than I expected it to do. I figured at most maybe a couple hundred views. As of recording this video, it's over 12,000 views. And for a channel the size of mine, that's a lot of fucking views, because like 12 people watch my videos consistently. Oh, if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at anything, right? Or something like that. But anyways, I figured, that one was my first like real gear review, and I might not have did so hot on it. Definitely could have done a better playing demo and sound demo. It was pretty limited. One guy even said, how do the other 4 strings sound? Joke's on him, I used 4 of the strings. But I didn't do like clean sounds and shit like that, so... a year on, one of the questions is with, and I know this isn't a cheap guitar, it's $600, but, one of the questions that usually crops up on, like, Epiphones and Squires and stuff like that is, how do they hold up? So I figured, a year on, it's good to maybe come back to this and see how it is, and it's great. I still love that fucking guitar. It's not used as much as my other ones, but for what I want to use it for, it fits that niche very well. Certain guitars lend themselves to certain types of music and certain types of styles, and one of the things that I got cooking that guitar is the keystone to the sound of that grouping of songs, and it's working out very well. You can use it for anything. I've used it for some heavier stuff, and I haven't really gone all out thrash on it. I keep it in drop C sharp or standard tuning, a half step down 2, and it just seems like that's where it likes to be. Maybe that's putting some mysticism or whatever into it, but I feel like certain guitars work better in certain tunings than others, and that just seems to be where it reaches that nice point of great playability, sound, and just what I'm using it for. Like I said, that's what it works for. As far as playability and everything like that, it's held up well. It did suffer from the typical problem that Epiphone guitars seem to struggle with, or at least all the Epiphones I've owned. The switch went kind of wonky after a while. You can clean those out with some deoxit usually, and clean it out, flick it back and forth, and usually it works. But I kind of got tired of that, so I figured, you know what, why not? I bought the Switchcraft switch with the amber knob on it, like the Gibsons have. I'm not trying to make it look like a Gibson, but I do like the look of the amber knob on the switch. But that's really the only change I made to it. I've thought about doing some other stuff to it, but you know what, it works pretty well just the way it is. The pickups might be a little muddy for some people, but they're actually pretty good pickups. They sound decent. The muddiness, just got to tweak your amp or your EQ a little bit and it clears right up. I've gotten some satisfactory sounds out of it, playing heavier music with it. So, in that aspect, it's worked out pretty well for me. No fret sprout or anything like that. Nothing out of the ordinary has really gone on with it. I tweaked the action. When it first came in, I didn't really do anything to it. It was kind of high, but it wasn't unplayable. I took it and I set it up to Gibson's recommended specs for a Les Paul, and it plays even better than it did when I got it. So, it's been nothing but good. Outside of the issues with the switch, it's held up, and I couldn't be happier. I fucking love that guitar. But, enough of that. Let me give you a better sound demo, and I'll use all 6 strings this time. So that's a little update there on my 2020 Epiphone Les Paul Standard 60s in Bourbon Burst. It was a great guitar when I bought it, and it's still a great guitar now. Like I said, the only thing I did was I changed the switch with a Switchcraft the Switchcraft switch, and just made it even better. Marginally, I guess. But, for what it's worth, I mean, I didn't even really have to do that. I could have just kept cleaning out the switch. These are great guitars, and I can only imagine that the 2021s are just as good. Maybe I'll try to get another one, see what happens with that. But yeah, that video blew up and more than I ever thought it would, and it looks like people are generally happy with these. I've seen a couple people have issues with sharp fret ends or uneven frets and stuff like that, but that's just kind of something that seems like we're gonna have to deal with, at least with the sharp fret ends and fret sprout, because like a lot of the companies now, like Fender even has it as like on their website that due to the manufacturing process and shit like that, there's nothing they can do about it. And to an extent there isn't. I mean, if you manufacture a guitar in one place and send it somewhere else and the climate's vastly different, they can't account for every single climate area. And for something like a $600 guitar that's being mass manufactured overseas, the fact that they're coming over as good as they are is a testament to the work that's being put into them. So I am quite happy with this guitar. And hopefully anybody that bought one because of that review is quite happy with their guitar. So let me know in the comments below if you picked one of these up during the pandemic, and how's it holding up? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you get rid of it? Let's give me the story. I'm curious what other people's experiences were like. And as always, guys, if you can rate, comment, and subscribe, every little bit helps. And again, like always, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.